Now in the topic of volume and surface area of prisms and cylinder, let's look at checkpoint 13.2 where you're actually given different kinds of prisms. Okay, now important things to take note is identifying where is the base area. Now remember when I actually go through my notes, okay, base area is basically the part, alright, that actually gives you a stack up. So for example, okay, let's take a look at the one that's shaded in yellow. This is my identified base area. Why? Because the height is constant throughout. Remember my pancake analogy? I give you a circle, I layer and layer and layer, layer and layer. So this just tells you that this is the height. Am I right? This is, in other words, a cylinder. So the same thing applies here. If I have this shape, okay, I have a trapezium shape, and I just keep extending this way. Am I right? Okay. Okay, so what happens is you realize it's just a stack of what? Trapeziums, trapeziums, trapeziums. Correct? And it's constant throughout. Now, what if, okay, you identify, so this is where I will actually tell my students, okay, you must learn how to identify where is your base area. It does not mean that your base area is always a rectangle. Let's say this is my base area, right? So what will be my height? It will be this, no? But is it the same throughout for all? Is it all rectangles? And in fact, do you know how many triangles would there be? Because you see, it is technically from this point to this point. It is not the smaller version. So you know that at the looks of it, okay, this is not the base area. Again, if let's say I were to use this as my base area, can you see the top part, the top rectangle? If you go downwards, you realize, you see, there is this gap that you will notice. These two gaps, okay, that will not be filled. So it's very important for you to learn how to identify your base area whenever you start doing volume or surface area for this kind of prisms. Okay, it's actually applicable as long as you're talking about, mensuration. So let's take a look at part A. You want to find the volume. Okay, so finding a volume, first thing, identifying the base area. So all I need to do is to know what's the base area. So base area is identified as BA, okay? I have half multiplied by, see where's my parallel lines? Alright, so I have 28 plus 50 multiplied by what's my height? Okay, my height is given here, 35. So therefore, my answer, okay, my base area, then I want to find the volume. So once I have my volume, I take base area times height, which will eventually give me half times 28 plus 50 times 35, okay, which is the base area, multiplied by the total height. Now this time round, your height is this side, because you want to, again, like I say, you want to multiply them in a common way, correct? Now you want them to stack up in trapeziums. So this time around, 1.2 would be your height. Sorry, 12 will be your height. Okay, so it should be 12. So therefore, your final volume will be 16380 cm cube. Okay, remember your units, that's important. Again, let's take a look. You have your total surface area. So A part 2, total surface area. Now total surface area is just front and back, front and back. Okay, so always remember to identify all the parts. I always tell myself, okay, trapezium front and back. Alright, so 2 times of trapezium times 28 plus 50 multiplied by 35. Then I plus 2 sides, okay, 2 of the corner sides, this side, the front and the back. Right, so I have 2 times of 37 and 12. Correct? Okay, and then again, I have the top, this rectangle. Now, is the top rectangle the same as the bottom? No, this is important. Okay, because the smaller, the rectangle at the bottom is a lot smaller. So let's take the top rectangle. You have 50 multiplied by 50, you multiply by 12. Okay, and then you have the bottom rectangle, which is 12 multiplied by 28. Now remember, always go and check your answer. Do you actually look for every single sides? So let's say I have 1 front and back. Okay, I have my trapeziums front and back, and then I have up and down. Correct? Okay, so press in your calculator. You should be able to get an answer of 4554 cm square. Okay, now then let's take a look at part B, part 1. Now this is a very complicated figure again. But please, don't go and do triangle, rectangle, and rectangle. No, that's a wrong approach because that will take up too much time. Again, identify what is the base area. Okay, now the base area will look like that. Why? Because I'm stacking this particular shape in many layers. So what is my height? My height will be this. Understand what I'm talking about? I'm just stacking them. Remember, like it's just like how you stack up your books. You're stacking them in different layers. If I have a bookshelf, for example, okay, this is my bookshelf. I'm stacking my books in this manner. So what is my base area? My base area should be this, the one that I'm shading. Then I multiply it by my height. Can see? Okay, because they're all in layers. Alright, so first thing first, let's take a look at the base area. What is your base area? Now, base area in this case will be a triangle, half times. Your height here would be, this is 5. Why? Because 10 minus away this 3, minus away this 2. Okay, and then what's my height? Now, this is 3, this is 2, right? So therefore, this height would be 4. Can see? Okay, so half times 4 times 5. Alright, plus, okay, this particular figure. So let's draw a little dotted line. I will have 8 multiplied by 3, and then I will have a 2 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 3, or rather you can just draw it this way, so I'll have it this way. So you see I have 8 here, okay, multiplied by a good 5 here, correct? Then after that I will take this small little portion, which is 2 multiplied by 2. Am I right? Okay, so therefore I will have 54 as my base area. Now once you're done, find the volume again. Base area multiplied by height. So you have 54 multiplied by height, which is 6, to get your 324 cm cube. Okay, then let's take a look at part 2. What will your answer for part 2 be? Now, part 2 is surface area. Okay, so again, front, back, up, down, left, right. Alright, so what will I have? I will have base area. I'll just take the whole base area. So the whole base area multiplied by 2 because it's front and back. So I'll have 2 times of 54. Okay, easy. Alright, then I'll have my triangle side. So I'm going to shade this as blue. This is the rectangle, to and fro. Okay, so front and back of my rectangle, I would have 2 multiplied by 2 times of 3 times 6. Okay, then after that, I will have another 3 times 6, which is over here. Okay, let me shade this as red. 3 times 6, so 3 times 6. Then I will have another side. Okay, let me shade this as blue, which is this portion. This is also 3 times 6. You notice? Okay, so this is again 3 times 6. Then I will have another one. This is in yellow. This rectangle. Now what's this rectangle? This is 2 times 6. Okay, so you notice a trend. The one in yellow, they're both the same. So I'll take 2 times of 2 times 6. So I'll plus 2 times of 2 times 6. Okay, and then I have the other side. Alright, now the other side is basically made up of a rectangle. Okay, the top part, the top rectangle from the triangle, we have already account for it, right? It's just left with this part, this side. Okay, so what would this one be? This is just a normal rectangle. So you take the long distance. Okay, this one would be, this is the height, and then this is the length, right? The length will be 6, it's constant. Now what would the height be over here? Okay, now this height is actually 4. You realize that? Okay, why is it, it should be 5. Why is it 5? Because it is the same height over here. Okay, so therefore you should be getting 3 times 2 times 2, 3, 6, yes. Okay, therefore you should have a 5 times 6. So you have a 5 times 6. Correct? Now, it's a common mistake, so don't always forget the bottom. Remember I said top and bottom? So again, bottom you have 10 and 6. So therefore you have 10 multiplied by 6, which will give you a total of a surface area of 294 cm squared. Okay, so rule of thumb, always remember top, bottom must be checked. Okay, left and right must be checked. Alright, and then front and back must be checked. So 6 different sides. Okay?